the recent results for both of these teams, obviously in this very qualifier. Complexity in the first round lost against Bushido Boys, which is a pretty grim loss. That was on cash as well, so that's something to keep in mind. In the second game, they did beat Trump's anime team 16-4 on cash, so they've shown strength and weaknesses on it, if you like, you know. In the meantime, Broken Alliance played against Misfits on cash in the first round, lost 16-4. Pretty heavy loss there, but I think Misfits are actually a pretty solid team now. In the meantime, Ronin, they managed to beat 16-11 on cobbles. So we're getting into things now. We've got Slemmy buying up the defuse kit, being the in-game leader, being the more supportive utility player in this round at least. In the meantime, Broken Alliance have brought up that Tech 9, dropped it over to Grim, who was looking good in warm-up, I want to say. Some of his shots are on point, so let's see if he can do anything with this. Pacifist does have the smoke in his hands, as well as Tacticus, so this is an interesting buy from Broken Alliance. I don't know if they bought any flashes to start with, but now they don't have any to work with, so smoke's going to come out towards A. It looks like they're going to push through. Already Tacticus taking the fight at long range with that P250. Looks like in the meantime they are going to split up highway, going all the way through mid. Slemmy is here to try and cut it off, but no, actually, they're going into vents. They were trying to fake towards A, and Pacifist, running and gunning with the Glock, opens things up. Surreal is in towards heaven and can hear this push come in, and here we go. He's going to peek out, gets the one kill he needed. Still a 4 versus 4 here, as Tacticus is watching for the flag. He should get this kill easily, spraying away, and eventually Desi loses out, leaving the 2 UK boys left, Def and Surreal, 2 versus 3. Going to push through, and actually, Def wins that fight as well, so down to a 2v2 now, and this is really doable. Def on towards the side, though, doesn't have the defuse kit, fakes the bomb, gets the first kill for free, nearly the second, but that gives him the info. Zizera is pushing his way through. Def spots him out, but Zizera, with that recovered USP, manages to land the vital shot he needed. Surreal and Def get 2 kills in that round each, but it wasn't quite enough for Complexity to pull through, and the pistol round will go in favour of Broken Alliance. The strategy didn't even really work out for them. The A-fake didn't really draw too much of a rotation from Complexity. I think Complexity still had a player in towards Heaven and a player in towards CT at B, but they just managed to get on towards the site so quickly. And a couple of running kills of those Glocks made the difference. Either way, Def has a scout in his hands, flashes, and smoke's going out towards mid. It looks like Def just about moved away in time. In the meantime, though, Grin is pushing on towards A, spots out one, easy kill for him. The A defense was very passive because they pushed in towards Squeaky instead. And that's going to allow the bomb to go down very easily, although Grim doesn't check the corner there. That gifts Desi a free frag, but he doesn't recover the gun from it. Sarah closes the door, so there might be a UMP in there to be picked up. Android with a quick shot, though. Brings it back to a 3v3. This is still actually doable here. Slemmy has recovered that UMP as well. Peak comes out, Pacifist with an insta-headshot, showing the strength of that AK-47. But Android gets 2 kills, and all of a sudden it's just Zizera left alive. He gets the first, but he's still got to find Slemmy. Just needs the 1 bullet to find this kill. Slemmy's pushing in. So awkward right now, but Zizera's playing well for time. Misses the shots! He runs out of ammo. Slemmy doesn't quite have time for the defuse. But Complexity take it close on round number 2. Slemmy will get away with an AK. I don't know if any of Complexity brought up a kit in that round. I don't think they did, but even then, bringing it very, very close. Either way, we will see Complexity have that 1 AK in this round. Slemmy's got that in his hands. Despite being an in-game leader, I think he can frag reasonably well, so we'll have to see if he can do anything with the AK in this round. It looks like he's thinking about going aggressive towards B to start things off. Flash through is good, but in the meantime, Broken Alliance have read this very well, as they're just going to push on towards the A site. Should be able to get the bomb down very cleanly without really any damage going through for either team. Slemmy might want to think about saving this AK now, because with no defuse kit, there's no real chance of winning this round, although Slemmy does get that first kill. Android finds one as well, and actually, there is every chance now that Complexity could win this round. It's a 5v3 in their favour. Unfortunately, Slemmy's the only one here. No, actually, there's a player behind him to get the AK. A couple of Mac 10 kills already coming in, and now Def and Slemmy with 2 AKs have a decision to make. A-main is smokes off for now. Looks like a player might be pushing through the smoke. Slemmy gets gifted a free frag. The time has ticked down very far, though, and I think Complexity are going to try and save. Slemmy loses his life, so Def might at least save this AK. Actually playing an off angle. Does get the first 3 kills, so the second as well. Def takes him down very low. For some reason, Grim repeaks on 2 HP, but it works out perfectly for him to get the frag. Either way, you can see the money on the right-hand side here right now. You know, Broken Alliance have really got a weak economy because of losing so many players in those first 2 rounds. You can already see Pacifist and Tacticus forced down to UMPs, so Complexity have actually got the stronger buy in this round with full rifles to work with. Very, very tight early rounds here. Let's see if that continues in the first gun round. So Broken Alliance playing reasonably passively, although there's been a slight push towards B, and Pacifist finds the angle through the smoke to get the easy opening on towards Slemmy. I have no clue how he found that kill, but I guess Slemmy must have been spamming through and he just found the right angle. Either way, that's a huge entry for Broken Alliance, because this could really help them stabilize their economy if they win this round. Molotov's down and they're going to take control of mid. No AWP to speak of on the Complexity side for Surreal, but Desi is here with a rifle, spraying away, eventually finds the frag through that box. Surreal is here to help him out as well. A bit of a presence towards mid this round as Surreal wins a duel as well. 2 quick headshots on Complexity, swing it back into their favor, but Android has a lot to do. Gets one, looking for the second, and he finds it.
Nice shot, Brad.
Getting two kills there was very important from Android. That was going to make the difference, because now Grim is left alive 1v3. Without any teammates, it's almost impossible as Surreal swings out for the frag. You could even hear Complexity's coach there, Warden, saying good job, because Android definitely did very well on that hold to get 2 kills. Especially when you're solo holding B. If he can do that every round when Complexity gamble more towards mid, then they should be feeling pretty safe about their B setup, and that could make the difference. Either way, it looks like Complexity will now have rifles in their hands, but Broken Alliance, due to those early round losses, are going to be forced down to just pistols here very early on. So a bit of a shame for them that they couldn't quite build up that full momentum that they were looking for, but either way, they could still do some damage with these pistols. We saw Complexity, you know, come very close with their force buys earlier, so let's see if Broken Alliance can do the same here on their T side. Surreal gets that first kill, Android finds one as well, so the superior weaponry for Complexity working out for now. Yeah, this is a best of 1. Best of 1, and the loser actually goes out of this qualifier and has no chance of going to the minor, so there's something to keep in mind. You know, Complexity need this really. Crazy Legs taking some damage in the meantime. Grim does damage, but not quite the kill just yet. Gonna get peeked. Eventually finds the headshot. Somehow Desi didn't find a single bullet on towards him. Grim finds a second kill there. Surprised he could even get 2 frags. Either way, will still be Complexity closing it out reasonably easily. They saved 2 of the AKs they had, so I think that's just about good enough for them. Now though, here comes the real test for Complexity, because Broken Alliance do have a proper full AK buy with reasonable utility as well. We saw even in that round number 4 where Complexity won, Broken Alliance did have a few UMPs in there and it wasn't quite a proper full buy. So let's see if now Broken Alliance do have all of the weaponry that they would want. Let's see if that is enough for them to win this round. Still no AWP has been brought up in this game, by the way, because of the poor economies on both teams. So that could really make a difference. Either way, Grim pushing in, free kill, looking for the second as well. Wild spray, but he takes Android low, and that is enough for Pacifist to push in for the trades. Broken Alliance just take full control of the B site, and Android alone managed to hold it better in one of those earlier rounds. This time Slemmy gets completely caught off guard. And the aggression catches them out. Desi with a couple of kills on the retake, and it's actually down to a 2v2 here. Surreal wins a fight as well, and Desi goes absolutely wild on the retake. 3 kills for him. And somehow Complexity just frag out on that retake. It was a 4 versus 3 with Broken Alliance having full control of the site. You'd assume they would be able to hold that off pretty well, but Complexity just showing their individual skill there, coming out on top. Those again are some really important kills for Complexity, because now it looks like they will be able to solidify themselves here and pick up a few more easier rounds on their CT side, as now Broken Alliance are forced down to a low buy. Interestingly enough, Complexity haven't decided to go for any UMPs here. They've decided to stick with the rifles, which I'm not really a big fan of, because if one of them gets caught off guard, then instantly Broken Alliance have a real chance to do some damage with a rifle if they can recover it. I think it's worth at least having 1 or 2 UMPs in there. Either way, Molotov going through. Grim boosted, peeks out, but Surreal finds the kill on towards him. As he's swinging out, finds one of his own with the AK, make it a second as well. Pacifist's going to peek as well with the Tech 9. Desi's AK's definitely got a better chance of winning at this sort of range, as Zizera wants to go at it as well. But Desi is unstoppable in that position. 4 kills for him on the highway hold, as it will be Complexity to take the lead for the first time in this map. However, now Broken Alliance do have a buy up again. Complexity do have money for an AWP now, but they just saved 5 rifles, so no need to invest into that just yet. In the meantime, Broken Alliance haven't built up enough money for that just yet because they've lost these recent rounds. So we've kind of had a situation here where we're up to round 8 and neither team has actually been able to buy up an AWP just yet, which is really interesting. Generally, you would have expected 1 or 2 to be bought up at this point. But right now, it's just been all rifles for both teams. Crazy Legs on the edge of the smoke, looking to push his way through, gets a bit of control. Very heavy presence towards B from Broken Alliance. Slemmy throws out the flashbang, he's going to peek with it, but can't get that first kill. That leaves Android alone on the site. He's got a lot to do, does get the 1 kill. He's allowed the rotate to come in, but he goes down. Def finds one in reply, but it's not enough.
Flashing, man.
Me? I threw
No,
one.
They're just chucking flashes over here.
Maybe we should turn this up.
In here.
Forgot.
Def 1v3, but all the players are low, and he has an incendiary. Gets caught off guard completely by Tacticus' peak, though. Will be Broken Alliance to bring it back to 4-4 early on. So now Complexity have a decision to make as to whether or not Surreal wants to buy up that AWP, and instantly he goes for it. The first AWP bought of the map here. Slemmy might struggle a bit on his buy, but someone should be able to drop for him. Looks like Slemmy does have that M4, so still a full buy for Complexity. In the meantime, Broken Alliance do, of course, still have the full AKs. Again, I can't open the scoreboard for some reason, but I don't think either side has too strong of an economy. Surreal takes damage, but this could really catch the opponents off guard. Push through, misses the shot, and now Surreal's going to have to fall back to safety. Can't risk losing that huge investment by an early peak. So after missing that shot, he's going to have to be forced to play it passively for now. In the meantime, push coming through. Def can't even get the first kill. Takes Crazy Dex down to 7 HP. And now the control of the A site is completely lost from Complexity. Desi loses his life in the meantime, and now it's going to be a tough retake. Slemmy gets an important kill through the smoke to make it doable in a 3 versus 4. The bomb's still not crossed towards the site just yet. In the meantime, Pacifist holding towards mid. Nice lurk to get a free kill. Slemmy's found a second, but it's still a man disadvantage. 6 bullets left for Slemmy, and he taps off the head of Zizera. He's forced to fall back over towards Truck, though. And now left in a 1 versus 2 with just 28 HP. No kit in his hands. He's going to peek out slowly behind this smoke. There is a player towards Highway, which he could win the fight against. That's Pacifist, who swings out for the kill. If Slemmy had more health there, I think he could have won that fight against Pacifist. But instead, Pacifist manages to get a hat-trick of frags on the round. 3 kills for him there to bring it back the lead in favour of Broken Alliance. And more importantly, bring Complexity's economy down to earth, if you like, because now they are going to be forced down to another eco. It'll be interesting to see if Broken Alliance do decide to go for an AWP when they can afford it, because they haven't really needed to so far. Just sticking with the 5 AKs, and it's been working reasonably well. So they're going to go for a quick A play here. This is a risk against the low buy. Lexi have stacked reasonably heavily towards A. Already even trade going through. Crazy Legs flicking around for that kill, looking for a second. And it's a complete demolition job on the A site. Only 1, or actually 2 kills for Complexity on the hold. Either way, with just pistols, they won't be too disappointed with that. Heading into round number 11. This is a round that Complexity really, I think, need to put up on the board. They don't have any excuses either, because you can see their buy is very strong. AWP in Surreal's hands. Slammy has no nades, but other than that, it's a very strong buy for the Complexity side. Early nades through, and Surreal is down to 6 HP. He gets absolutely nade striked down. Really nice there for Broken Alliance to adapt to that, and already Grim finds the headshot on towards Def with the AK, and the A site is very, very easy to take now. Surreal does get the 1 kill, but he could go down so easily. Gets the second as well. That's the bomb dropped. These are huge kills from Surreal on just 6 HP.
When you use this right there.
Yeah.
That just shows how much damage the AWP can do, as Surreal just about gets away from the flames. In the meantime, Android managed to win a fight over towards mid, so it's just the 2 players from Broken Alliance left on the A site. Semi peeking out, catches Tacticus completely off guard, and now Grim is left in a pretty grim situation. 1v4, gets the first, looking for the second, wins the fight, It's doable now as both players are low. Oh, Grim nearly got that third kill. He had a realistic chance of winning that 1v4, but just couldn't quite land the single bullet he needed on towards Desi, who came out strong to win the fight. For a second there, you could see Grim's name up in lights. It would have been an ace if he managed to clutch that, which would have been insane. Either way, Broken Alliance are going to keep Complexity's economy somewhat low here, heading towards the end of the half. So, yeah, that's something to keep in mind right now. Broken Alliance also have somewhat low money as well, so whoever wins this round could really press on and take a couple more rounds to give themselves the edge in this half. Nade going over towards Highway again. Again, Desi takes a bit of damage, this time early on. Grim, though, accidentally walks into the Molotov. Desi might have heard that. He's going for the nade through, but doesn't quite get the angle too well on it, so it's a little bit of a worry there. Either way, Surreal going to boost up his teammate, Android. They think about it, but Android instead just loses his life. Surreal up close does get the one shot, but now the trade should come through, and eventually Grim finds it. The B site holder's been struggling right now for Complexity as Death manages to rotate over for 2 kills. Those were 2 very important frags. Drops the bomb down, slows things down, and allows the rotate to come in. Desi's still holding across the site, but you can hear Crazy Legs going already, but he gets caught off guard. Trying to get his way over towards that headshot angle, but he was just making so much noise that Zezera couldn't save him from that one. And that leaves Zezera by himself versus 2 players. Certainly still doable here, but you can see Complexity are just playing things very passively for now, willing to let Zezera push his way on towards the site, because they don't want to, you know, lose out. They want to make sure they can push through together for the trade frag. 40 seconds left is still plenty of time for Zezera as he nearly finds the headshot. Desi gets taken down very low early on. Slemmy only has a UMP as well, so that's maybe a little bit of a worry. Zezera needs this bomb though, and it's out in an awkward position. He's still not been able to pick it up just yet. He's going to peek out towards CT, just looking to take that opening fight. Oh, the bomb's on top of the box. Okay, it's fine. Zezera still manages to get it, but that could have been awkward. Fake plant through, but Slemmy manages to come out on top with the UMP. Very close there, though, as both Slemmy and Desi go down to sub 50 points of health. Either way, Slemmy just about manages to win that fight to close things out, and Complexity will bring it back to a 6-6 scoreline again here. And more importantly, again, Broken Alliance are going to be forced down to a reasonably low buy. So, been a very back and forth game so far. It looks like Broken Alliance are just going to rush all the way on towards this B site, all of them grouped up. Slemmy and Android have struggled somewhat on this hold so far. We'd often see, you know, a 2-for-1 trade in favour of the T's here, but with just pistols they're going to struggle. Slemmy already getting one. The UMP's doing all the damage necessary as the push comes through. Flash came over as well, and Surreal helps his B players out. They get 2 kills each, and it will be Complexity to take the 7-6 lead here. Broken Alliance will now have a buy on their side. Again, I'm not sure whether they would want to buy up and up on their T side because they haven't decided to do so yet. But that could just be due to them having a pretty weak economy throughout this first half so far. Either way, the push comes through and Def loses out in that first fight. Zezera gains his team a man advantage. Now Complexity going to try and bring it back with Android pushing towards B. But through the smoke on the edge was a little risky. Does win that fight though. That's an important kill to at least bring it back to a 4v4 for Complexity. But Android does take a lot of damage in the process. He's down to just 12 points of health. Meantime, Desi's holding over towards fence here. This position can be Molotoved off very easily, so he does need to be careful. It's especially difficult to fall back safely once the Molotov comes in. But actually, it looks like 3 players from Broken Alliance are in towards Squeaky, so that's going to make it hard for them to actually properly throw these nades out. And actually, well, who the hell cares about that? They don't have a Molotov to work with. It's going to make it very difficult to clear out all the positions on the A site. Push coming in at Crazy Legs, taken down to 20 HP. He was trying to push through Squeaky, but that Molotov caught him off guard. Here comes the push through anyway. The flash is coming out. Surreal switches over to the Tech 9, but already there's 1 kill through. So no scope is good for Surreal, and he switches over to the Tech 9 as they shut down the A play well. Nicely done from Complexity there to give themselves an 8-6 lead. Quick look at the kills, and you can see Android and Surreal both up there at 15, as well as Desi at 14 frags. So those 3 have really been leading the way for Complexity. And by the way, Slemmy's not doing too badly either. 10 kills, 9 deaths. So yeah, I think that Slemmy, actually, considering how much he provides in terms of in-game leading, if he can just frag decently well, then I think he's doing his job, certainly. Surreal trying to get a kill on the edge of that smoke, doesn't quite manage it. In the meantime, all of Broken Alliance are already grouped up towards B. This suggests they might go for a very quick B play. They have the weak weaponry, so they're going to flash their way through. Android is towards the back of the site, but Crazy Legs is getting up close. In the meantime, the rotate's already come in. They've telegraphed this play too much as Death is already here. Just one player left, and it's easy for Android to finish him off. Complexity will take the 9-6 first half. Very back and forth game, but considering Broken Alliance won that pistol round, I think Complexity will be reasonably happy with that first half scoreline. It's certainly still doable for Broken Alliance here as well, heading into their CT half, but I think Complexity will be the slightly happier of the two teams heading into halftime. Quick look at the buys through, and already Slemmy and Desi both investing heavily into nades. 2 Molotovs, and they're going to go towards B. I actually really like this. If they can throw 2 Molotovs on towards the site and force the players to push back, that could really be a powerful strategy, especially on the pistol round where you don't expect it. But Pacifist already gets 1 kill. They could now overrun him, though, as he's stuck in towards Checkers. Pacifist looking for the second, eventually finds it. The Glocks cannot find a single frag right now. Finally, Android gets 1 kill, but the USPs have done all the damage they needed to on that B hold. Android recovers a USP for his own, but he's still versus 4 players, and Tacticus lands that long-range shot. 3 kills for him from the site. And that's, I guess, thinking about it more, that's kind of the issue of trying to go for those, that execute on towards B almost in the pistol round. I think they were trying to throw 2 Molotovs towards the site, but you instantly saw one of the Molotovs used towards back Checkers. However, once the player was already in Checkers, this line of sight is just so strong when a team's trying to execute through. It really kind of slowed them down and made it difficult for them to push through when a player's still in towards Checkers. And they just kind of got crosswired almost with the player from the site as well. Either way, Complexity invested a little into this round, and the flashes will come through. They're going to try and get a plant on towards A, but Crazy Legs is instantly here for the rotate from mid. Looking for a bit more here. Crazy Legs getting 2 kills already with that UMP. In the meantime, Android has recovered 1, but he loses out instantly. Surreal on just 7 HP will go down. Just Slemmy left versus 4. Can't manage to do anything, as you would expect. Crazy Legs finishes it off with 3 kills on that UMP. So yeah, this was a really huge pistol round win, I think, for Broken Alliance, because you can see now they are going to be able to get a couple more rounds on the board, bring it back to an even scoreline, as long as they don't lose to this very weak buy from Complexity here. And then they're going to be able to, if they win the subsequent buy rounds as well, they really could sort of start to get in a controlling position where they have the massive lead in terms of money. Flash is coming in towards A main from Broken Alliance. They've pushed in the meantime. All of Complexity are over towards Squeaky. Oh, this is so awkward right now. Zizera will push through in time and spot out a couple of players, but already Complexity don't care because they've got towards the site. Considering how weak their buy was, they will gladly take a free bomb plant every day of the week. I think they obviously knew that they had no chance of winning this round, so that bonus money from the bomb plant is really huge. A bit unfortunate for Broken Alliance there, pushing into A main rather than Squeaky, and that's just one of those little unfortunate things that that could make a difference, because now Complexity will have a lot more money for this buy. You can see that $800 of bonus money on each player has allowed them to pretty much all buy up full nades, except for Slemmy, who's falls down to a Galil. But still, this is a much stronger buy from Complexity than they would have had if they couldn't get that bomb plant through. So that's a real unfortunate situation for Broken Alliance. Either way, Zizera, I didn't realize he brought up that AWP, but he instantly peeks out towards B, and Surreal loses out in that opening fight. Zizera didn't get an opportunity to AWP throughout the entirety of that first half, but as soon as he picks it up here in round number 19, he's already making impact plays with it, with that peek through to gain his team a man advantage early on. And in such an important round, that is a really, really huge kill. Now they're having a 5v4 to start things off, and they don't need to risk making any aggressive plays. They can just play it safe for now and hold towards the site, and they should be able to hold it off well enough. Zizera smoked out, so he's going to come over towards Truck here, but he does need to be a little careful. Pacifist is not boosted up, so full mid control for Complexity, and this gives them a lot of options. If they push in towards Z, you can see Zizera is going to be a little scared. They could go through vents as well, or even up towards Highway, although that is now being watched. However, it just kind of leaves every position slightly more vulnerable to a couple more angles. Either way, Def is in towards A main. In the meantime, the bomb's leaning towards B, so it looks like Def might be the one man trying to fake this A play. Let's see if he is successful in doing so. Molotov comes in, he's going to flash through the smoke. He's going to try and get this first kill, gets one, that could be enough. The plays have come through in the meantime, there's only one player towards B, but it's Tacticus to get 2 kills. He has done work on the B holds. As Slemmy now the last man alive. Yeah, it was Tacticus, sorry, who was solo holding B, so... Oh, perfect nades. Yeah, the fake worked pretty well. There was only one player on the B site, but they needed to get that clean entry, and then it would have been maybe a 3v3 post-plant. Instead, Tacticus was able to kind of find a sneaky position in towards checkers there, and get the timing right for 2 kills. Either way, Broken Alliance regain the lead, and more importantly, Complexity will be forced down to a low by here. Looking pretty good for Broken Alliance to take the 11-9 lead. They do still have full rifles on their side up against Complexity's pistols. Again, maybe somewhat of a worry for Broken Alliance is if they lose a couple of fights early on, Complexity will guaranteed pick up a couple of rifles. So that's a slight worry for Broken Alliance if they lose those first fights. So that's something to keep in mind here. They do need to get those kills, and I think that's why you can see they are just playing passively across the map for now, really. Smokes have come in, but Zera's already rotated through. This is going to be awkward to hold with the AWP up close. Grim does get the first kill, a second as well. Oh, it's a complete shutdown, as Grim does find 3 kills on the hold. The 2 A players doing all the damage necessary to destroy the Complexity lineup on the A play. And it looks like Complexity have decided to take a timeout now. So I like this decision from Complexity because this is a really important round now. If they don't win this, they could be in real trouble because they might have to go 13-9 down if they would have to eco after this one. So this is a vital round for them to put around on the boards. However, whatever happens, I mean, Broken Alliance now have actually already got a reasonably strong economy built up. They're going to need 2 round wins at least in a row, Complexity, I think, to break this economy, and that might not even be enough. So this is actually a pretty damn tough spot for Complexity. Broken Alliance are in a reasonably good position now. I'd say cash is slightly favoured for the CT side already, but they also have a ton of money built up, so they will be able to have those buy rounds heading into all of the future rounds. Unless Complexity can win quite a few in a row. Surreal has got the AWP bought up. I wouldn't mind seeing him go up on towards the boxes at T-spawn and try the body wallbang. That can work sometimes, and if you land it, then it can make a huge difference, but it looks like he's not looking towards that for now. Looks like Surreal will not go for the insane wallbang towards mid. In the meantime, Broken Alliance leaning 3 players towards mid to start things off. This could be a read, and it could be the right read. We'll have to wait and see. Complexity seems to be sitting around mid for now, but with the smokes down, I don't think they'll push through yet. Crazy Legs is pushed up here, and there was a man in towards Vents. Push is coming out, and Slemmy's already pushed through here. Does check the corner, but Crazy Legs catches him off guard for the first kill. Android is there for the trade, and Def finds one as well. That leaves Pacifist, the only man left on the mid-hold. Goes for the flash through, thinks about the peak, but decides against it. So Broken Alliance are going to have to play from a man disadvantage, and with 3 players left alive, it's so difficult to play from this position. I like this push from Tactics to gain info, and he wins the fight against Surreal's AWP, who seemed to be scoped on that angle. That brings it down to a 3v3, and I think that's why you need that aggression, because now there is a realistic chance for Broken Alliance to win this round. Still going to be difficult, though, because Pacifist over towards Truck is going to be the quickest rotator, and he's gambling on the A play. I don't mind the decision, but unfortunately for Broken Alliance, it's not the right decision this time. They haven't got the read right. Tacticus, though, gets a second kill. That's all he needed to do. Incendiary will slow them down. He does lose his life, but I think the damage has been done to allow Broken Alliance a chance on the retake. They both have kits in their hands. Long rotate through, but they are here in time. This is a huge round for both teams. Complexity need this, really, to ensure they can buy into the next round, and the nade through will take Desi down low. Molotov going to force him out of position over towards Headshot. Pacifist does get that first kill, and it's all on Death. Just about gets the reload up in time. Looks for the first kill, but the pistol of Zera somehow comes out on top, showing the power of those pistols up close. As Broken Alliance will take a 12-9 lead, and they could be on the verge now of pulling off this upset here. You can see Complexity do, thanks to that bomb plant, still have a strong buy. So that's something that I didn't really take into account. But Slemmy's going to be forced down to maybe a weaker gun here. Wow, is Slemmy just buying up a Tech 9? He had 4k, so he could have bought a Galil or something, or maybe even a UMP. But I guess he wanted to make sure he had as many nades as possible. Pete coming in, Zizera comes out on top, switching up his positioning well to catch them off guard over towards Squeaky, and that is what I really like to see AWPers do on their CT side. If you can switch up your play and peek towards different angles and catch your opponents off guard, you know, as long as you win the fights, you can really easily gain your team a 5v4 advantage early on. Zizera did get taken down to half HP, but that shouldn't be too relevant with the AWP in his hands. He just needs to land a single shot to find the kills, of course. Crazy Legs has been forced back from mid after Complexity showed a little bit of presence there. Android's thinking about to peek towards Highway, and there's an AWP over towards Quad. I think Android realised that and spotted out that AWP barrel, so Zizera will not be able to get any more damage done for now because Android's decided to play it safe, at least for now. Android thinking about a peek again. The smoke has come through, so I guess that's why they might want to go in towards Z here and try and split towards the B site. That seems to be the play right now. And with Broken Alliance having 3 players stacked towards A, this could certainly work out in Complexity's favour, especially now that Surreal's got that first kill. Now, Broken Alliance have to really react to this. You can see they're already trying to rotate through, but Complexity could just overrun this B site. There's a lot to do here for Tacticus solo holding. Let's see if he can do it. Looks for the first kill, but Surreal finds a second. The flank comes in, but I think he's done enough damage. Complexity should have the advantage here. 3v3, the bomb will go down, but they're all towards the site. Slammy does get that first kill. Trade comes through here. Crazy Legs finds the second as well, looking for the third, and he gets all 3 kills on the retake. That is a huge play from Crazy Legs. You could say a crazy play from him, as he brings his team a 13-9 lead. And the issue there was that Complexity all committed to going on towards the site. Slammy got there safely. I don't think there was any real need. You could see where Slammy was planting. He was planting on this box, or next to this box, which can be seen from B main. I think they needed to play it in towards B main to sort of watch those pushes through. And that really cost them. Either way, a 13-9 scoreline now. Complexity got a lot more work to do here on their T side. They have at least got to buy into this round thanks to the bomb plant. But still, it feels like Broken Alliance might just have too heavy of a lead so far, especially considering, I mean, I can't see the scoreboard, but I think Broken Alliance have won at least 4 rounds in a row now on their CT side. It certainly feels that way. Either way, still an important round here. If Complexity want a chance at the comeback, this will be a huge round for them to win to get themselves up to double digits. The issue is going to be, though, Broken Alliance definitely have a very, very strong economy built up, so there's no real chance for them to be forced down to an eco. Either way, Complexity grouping up around the A site, but already there's 3 players waiting from the CT side on the A site. Grim is going to peek out, could get the timing right. A couple of kills in favour of the CTs, but it's even trades. However, Android up close finds that headshot.
Dude, I can't hit that shot for some reason. Like on the door guy?
Complexity might finally be able to put a round on the board here. Molotov forces Android out of position. Pacifist and Tacticus, the 2B players, are going to try and retake this. The Incendiary is going to force a player out of quad there. Actually, a couple of players moving out of position. Pacifist could get this first kill. It's actually Tacticus who gets 2. Slammy does eventually find the frag. He is in towards A main, so should have a decent chance here. But Tacticus thinking about sticking the defuse. Slammy, you've got to peek now. Slammy, no! He doesn't peek in time. Tacticus sticks the full 5 seconds defuse. And despite Slemmy's 3 kills on the round, it's not enough as Broken Alliance get themselves up to a 14-9 lead. They just cannot be stopped right now. It seems like they can't lose a round. 2 versus 3 retake on A and they somehow win it. I am gobsmacked right now, honestly. This has been really impressive from Broken Alliance on their CT side. Remember, if Complexity lose this, they are out of the minor qualifier. They can't get through to the minor. Surreal gets 2 kills over towards A, stepping up huge as Desi finds one as well. Complexity surely cannot throw away this 5 versus 2 advantage. Surely there's no way for Pacifist and Tacticus to clutch it again. They should finally be getting themselves up to double digits here. as it looks like Pacifist and Tacticus, despite clutching that last round, have decided this one might be a little bit too much for them to handle. Amber gets the first kill, make it a second for him, so that's something for Complexity to work with now. They will have a strong buy heading into this round, as well as an AWP in their hands, and actually, Broken Alliance aren't going to have a full buy here. I thought their money would be stronger than that. They are going to be forced down to a couple of UMPs, so a round win here for Complexity, sorry, could actually make it doable. This is a really huge round at this point, and it looks like Zizera is going to be peeking into A main. There's no one here from the Complexity side, though. They're leaning more towards B. This is going to be good info gained early on for Broken Alliance. They're going to push up into vents, though, and Desi gets an instant kill, insta-headshot on towards Pacifist, who was not expecting Complexity to already have that mid control. That gives Complexity the man advantage early on, and that could be enough for them. I've seen better nades in my days there, as Desi can't quite get the nade through. In the meantime, the B play might be coming in, and again, it's Tacticus solo on the site. And with the UMP only in his hands, this is almost impossible for him to hold off. He's just going to have to try and delay things here. Flash comes through, but Android avoids it. Easy headshot, and that should be enough now for Complexity, as Surreal chimes in with a frag of his own as well. Now Broken Alliance probably going to be forced to save here. Again, a 2 versus 5, which is basically unwinnable. So finally, Complexity are putting some rounds on the board on their T side. But is it too little too late here? Still certainly a chance for them as Def gets flashed through into CT and finds the headshot. Grim is the last man left alive, and I believe Broken Alliance will be forced down to a low by now. I can't check the scoreboard because for some reason it doesn't show up when I press tab, which is frustrating, but I'm pretty sure Broken Alliance aren't really going to have too much money here, so Grim saving this guy could make a difference for them in the next round if he is able to. Push coming in, Grim peeks out, he's going to get overrun surely here. Def running through, does find the headshot with the AK, and yes indeed, Broken Alliance are completely out of money. Going to be forced to eco this one. A hard eco here should get them a buy into the next round, but it might not be a proper full buy. In the meantime, Complexity have managed to build up some money with a couple of round wins, so that's a positive for them. Surreal going to peek out, going to spot all of the players rushing towards him, gets the one kill he needed. In the meantime, Def on the boost finds a frag as well, make it 2 for him. They've pushed in towards Garage, but Complexity have all the information, so they'll just go on towards the A site. Surreal just going to play things safe now on 29 HP, no need to risk going down. Finds the first kill. Brim's going to try to push through. Knows where Surreal is, but Desi peeks out perfectly in time to get the free kill on towards him. So it is back to 14-12 now, and now Broken Alliance have a decision to make. This is probably a situation where they can afford to buy. But you can already see there's a couple of UMPs in the mix. Zizera's bought up an AWP with no Kevlar. This is a huge, huge investment. He's been doing well with it so far on the CT side, getting opening kills reasonably often. But without Kevlar, it might be difficult for him to do so here. Round number 27 here, and this could be a pivotal round in deciding how this game plays out. The buy is certainly in favour of Complexity, but Broken Alliance definitely still have a chance with a reasonably strong buy on their side. Looks like neither team really wanting to make any mistakes early on in such an important round, so no one really going for too much early aggression. Crazy Legs is pushed up towards mid with the UMP, and they've played this spot once or twice already, so Complexity might be able to swap that out with a Molotov. Pacifist will be forced out thanks to the Molotov in towards vents. In the meantime, already Complexity grouping up around A. There's still a minute left on the clock, and generally they've been going reasonably slow so far, so this could make the difference in terms of switching up the pace of their play as Def finds that first entry. Huge kill for Complexity, as now they will cleanly push on towards the site. Surreal peeking out, chimes in with one of his own. Crazy Legs does at least find one back, but it's still a man disadvantage here as Slemmy wins the fight on towards the site. And it's just Pacifist left alive versus 4. Surreal shuts him down. There's Broken Alliance struggling a bit now as Complexity have won a couple of rounds in a row. Yeah, this is a best of one. Broken Alliance still with a 14-13 lead, but they're going to be forced to eco this round, so it looks like it could come down to the last 2 rounds here. Broken Alliance will force up a little bit into this round. In the meantime, though, Complexity are guaranteed to have buys in these final 2 rounds, whereas Broken Alliance is certainly not the case for them, as Surreal spots out the push towards B, and actually there's no one left from Broken Alliance on the B site. They decided to gamble a couple of players towards mid for this boost instead. So it looks like Complexity should be able to overrun this B site pretty easily with no presence there from Broken Alliance right now. Desi did spot out the man up on the boost. They are slowly but surely rotating their way over. Desi wins that fight though. Cesera gets one kill, but already the round is over as Desi gets 3 frags to bring it back to a 14-14 scoreline for Complexity. And here we go. This is a huge round in deciding the fate of both of these teams. Cesera has the AWP in his hands. Complexity should have an AWP brought up. Double AWP setup here. Desi and Surreal both buying up AWPs on the T side. This is certainly unorthodox. Generally, you'll see this on the CT side of certain maps, but very rarely on the T side, and this could be the difference that catches Broken Alliance off guard. You know, if you hear an AWP being shot elsewhere on the map, then you wouldn't expect a second AWP to be playing in a different position, so that's certainly a factor that could come into play here. Oh, it looks like Desi was just going for the quick peek with that AWP because he has so much money, so he's switching back to the AK. Okay, I really like that from Desi. Realizing that they have so much money in these last 2 rounds and just seeing if he can get an opening pick. Now he'll switch back over to the AK. In the meantime, Cesera does still have the AWP for the CT side. He's recently been playing much more passively with it. We saw earlier, you know, quite a few peeks in towards B main, in towards Squeaky to try and get the opening. But now it seems like he might be out of ideas a little bit as he's just playing safe on towards A. A minute left on the clock, and Complexity has shown no signs of executing towards a site just yet. Looks like they might want to take mid control, and Broken Alliance seem to be willing to give that up again here. Complexity have been able to gain mid control reasonably often, and this time they haven't had to use too many nades to gain control of mid. Android still has a lot left to work with. Death spots out one player, but it's already Surreal to get the first kill. In the meantime, Android gets a team kill through after Def got that opening frag. Still a man advantage for Complexity despite the team kill coming in. Grim gets naded out, taken down low on health. Still trying to win this fight, but it's Desi who swings out for the headshot. Cesera does find the 1 kill on the hole, but he could get overrun now. Stuck in towards quad. Gets a second frag as well on the hold. Somehow staying alive. Eventually goes down. And Surreal wins the fight against Tacticus on the other side of the map. Complexity are just 1 round away from successfully coming back here on Cash. 15-14 scoreline in their favour. And despite Broken Alliance gaining a pretty big lead on their CT side here, they've been really struggling in these recent rounds. They're forced down to just 5 UMPs, at least 4 days to work with, and we've seen the strength of the UMPs, so this is certainly a round that they could win here. But Complexity must be feeling like they are on the verge of going through to the next round of this qualifier. Boost is coming in, it's Crazy Legs up here again. Desi spotted this out in the past. Let's see if they expect it this round as well. Smoke comes through and a second player will be boosted up, which is interesting. But in the meantime, you can see on the map, all of Complexity are ready to push through on towards that B site any second now. Tacticus, the solo man holding here, is going to have so much to do. There is a player actually rotated over though. Pacifist in towards Vents has thrown out an incendiary, which could slow down the push just enough to allow the rotate to come in, and already Broken Alliance are rotating heavily here. This could be enough for them, but Tacticus loses the first fight. Slemmy finds the frag on towards him. The rotate's coming down from Vents, but Cesera is the only man to get a kill, and Grim is left in a very, very grim situation. 1 versus 4 gets the first kill, but surely he cannot pull this off. Android and Slemmy are low on health, but Grim needs this 1 versus 3 just to keep his team with a chance of going through in this qualifier. Bomb is down, time is ticking away. He has got a kit in his hands. Makes a step there towards CT. That could cost him heavily. He's going to run through. Can't find a single shot. And Android finishes things off. Complexity just about close out the win here. 16-14 to move on in this minor qualifier. But that was very, very close indeed.